All right, guys, we're back live again. Let me see if I can get the people to get in here because I just started. I know I had to All right, guys, we're back. I had to just kind of end the other one because I had to put the stuff away. We live now again. Let me let the people know that we're live now again. Sorry about that, guys. I just, I had to handle some stuff. Welcome everybody. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button, please, and thank you. Um, and this time I might actually drop the link. We live now again. Hey everybody. I have a feeling that this might get a little heated. Sorry, I had to put the stuff away. Y'all know, can't let the ice cream melt. Okay, yes, we're back live again. I apologize. I had to end the other one to start this one. Okay, which is fine. It is what it is. Welcome everybody. So I'm gonna start off at let's see, 15 minutes. I'm like, I feel bad because it's like I feel like I stopped right where she was getting at. Hey, yeah. So I know some of you guys were like, hey, we could probably do a quick panel after this. Let's review this and we could totally do a quick panel because I am kind of curious to know what everybody thinks. But my only thought is that I have a feeling this is going to get kind of heated. So I just want to make sure everybody's respectful, but we're all adults here, right? Like we can handle, we can hang, and we can be cute, right? In the chat. You guys know how I do. So let me let the people get in here because I did end the other stream abruptly. I had to put the groceries away, guys. I mean, the ice cream is totally gonna melt if I don't put it away. Okay, and like Baby Bunny will never forgive me. And I forgot my creamer. No. And we're back. And we're back. Yeah, let the people get in here. I don't want to start all the way. I told you guys I would be back. You're okay, Theo, you're back. All right. Shout out to everybody. What we can do is I think it might be helpful to do a little panel, but let's review this. Yeah, I agree, but I think we can respect everybody's opinion. But I know that this is one of those topics where it's like we're all coming. I'm very passionate about this topic, right? I shared with you guys a little bit about me as far as Celeste goes. So yeah, like this topic does kind of get to me to a certain degree. And I am very passionate about it. At the same time, I'm also pretty level-headed. I like to think. I like to think. I don't know. Um, I like to think that I am. Questions. What's a panel? A panel is essentially like where we have a conversation. Like I'll drop the link and everybody can, you don't have to show your face, but you're going to give your opinion about the matter. And you're going to do it within a short time because of the time frame and stuff like that. Because I still got to get other stuff I got to get done. But I think it does deserve a conversation. I think that there's an opportunity for us to talk here and really learn from each other. You said anything with children affects me. Yeah, Olga, I hear you on that. I also was, like we were once Celeste's age too. So it's like one of those things where we might see things a little bit different because we might have lived it, right? So y'all don't have to show your face if you don't want to, but let's finish this. We'll review this, we'll finish this, and then we'll do like a little panel. And hopefully people will get in here because I know I just kind of ended the other one and started here. So hopefully I might have to redirect people over there. All right, let's get over here. 14 minutes in, okay?
Why are we blaming Jason? Why are we blaming Sakura? Why are we blaming me? Why are we blaming all of these people except for the person we're supposed to be having eyes on? Why are we taking eyes away from what we're really supposed to be focusing on? We're supposed to be trying to get this girl justice, and there's the dumbest headlines I've ever seen. Like, I don't even know what the fuck to do anymore. But anyways, I left the fucking party. Um pre-recorded. This isn't pre-recorded. I'm literally chilling in my fucking room. But anyways, um like I just left before security kicked me out because I knew then it was going to look really bad to a bunch of people that were there. So then I just sent Jason a text to which, it's like, we're so bad with each other, yet I have his contact and his number. Like, we have text messages. Like, it's just so annoying. But I just, long story short, I sent him like a paragraph, and I was basically saying, like, I'm super disappointed about the way that you handled things tonight. Like, I'm honestly embarrassed. I'm pissed off. Like, you made me cry in front of my friends. Like, I'm not uncomfortable with the way that you handled things. Um, And it's the fact that he can just
So she sends him a message, Jason the Ween, that says, "I'm embarrassed. I don't like the way that you handle this. I don't think he really cares. I'm gonna be honest with you, because he did." I think he's trying to distance himself by, from certain individuals that he feels like are associated to D4VD, to David, right? And so I don't think he cares. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Like, and again, I would probably second that. Take it up with the person that set the party too, right? Like, why did the person who did the party feel the need to kick you out too? What happened there? That would probably be the other thing too. But ultimately, I think that maybe a new circle of friends might be better, right?
just do that just because he's a bigger creator than me. Obviously, the other guys that are in that house probably feel inferior or whatever, but it wasn't even his party. I got accepted on this list just like everyone else. I was having fun with my friends just like everyone else, and I was not bothering him. I would totally understand trying to get me kicked out if I was bothering you, but I wasn't bothering him. It's just all super shitty. And then a lot of people saying like, "Oh, but like she's friends with Bree. That's why she's there. She's friends with Bree." I thought I was friends with Bree. I texted her too. She said that she unfollowed me to protect her peace and stuff like that. And you know what? I get it. I feel like she doesn't want to be linked to everything going on, and I don't feel like people should be attacking her for the stuff that is going on. Like that's not fair to her. It's not fair to anyone. Like
I would distance myself from a lot of people, right? Like, I don't want this kind of drama. I don't want this kind of like negativity or anything like that. Yeah, I would agree with this. I don't know. I don't feel like I fault the girl for distancing herself.
I don't know how many times I have to come online and say that David blindsided all of his friends, all of us. Like we're all just a little fucking confused because he portrayed himself to be this angel of a person, this great friend. So we're all like, what the fuck? I think we're all a little scared. I think when you deal with a person who's like a genuine psychopath for the first time, I mean, like an actual psychopath, you're fucking lost because you're like, what the hell just happened? I would have never thought in a million years he would do something like that.
Do you think that with her saying this, that now she believes that he's someone that's guilty? He hasn't had his day in court, right? So keep that in mind. With this, a genuine psychopath, right? Do you guys feel like she genuinely believes that he's guilty at this point, based on this statement alone?
But that's the thing. That's like the common denominator between all of these fucking crazy ass people is you never fucking know what they're capable of because they would never show you that side of them. And like people are like, "Oh, how is it that you just couldn't tell?" What are you talking about? How could I not tell? When you're, for instance, like when you're dating someone, right? God, I never knew he was a cheater. Like, I can't believe he cheated on me. Or like when you're friends with someone and they stab you in the back and you're like, damn, I never thought they were capable of that. You'll never know what a person is capable of until they show you. That's just kind of how it works. I don't want there to be hate towards Jason, Sakura, Bree, any of the guys who live in the house at that party yesterday. I don't want there to be hate on any of those people, especially regarding like the David shit. I'm coming on here to talk to you about this horrible experience that.
And that's the thing where I feel like I get where she's coming from. Maybe this was her close circle and she didn't have any friends and yada yada yada. This was the thing. She doesn't want anybody having genuine hate, that this is how she feels. At the same time, it's not, to me, it's like that would be the least of my worries. Maybe it's just like my worry would be, damn, what if the friends was somebody else still like somehow connected? Did somebody participate in the murder? Did somebody do this? Like that would be my main concern. Like, how did he, if he lied to so many people, how did he lie to so many people at the same time? How, like the how and the why, and what is it that I miss internally, right? Like if somebody like this is a psychopath and they got away with this, if he's found guilty, right? How did I miss this? Or what can I do? To me, that would have been like my thought process. I do think she thinks he is guilty. Also, he was probably good at manipulating people. I would be heartbroken if my friend did this. She does not want to make it she does not make it look good. But yeah, let's wait. Yeah, and I mean, and I'm hearing that she gets to address the other stuff that I had questions about because I think it's the biggest elephant in the room that I have a hard time with her. But at the same time, um I don't know. I just maybe it's a different thing, you know? But would Rabbit at that age still have the same thought process? I don't know. You know, thank God I've never been to anything like this. I don't know. I don't know. Who I was, and I would agree, who I was in my 20s wouldn't be who I am in my 30s or 40s, right? Of course things would be different. I think there's nothing close that I've ever come to. So it's kind of hard to like say that this is what I would do, but I also understand that the internet wasn't what it was when I was in my 20s, right? Like we're talking about a whole different generation of people between her, you know, young people in their 20s. The young people in their 20s, what I was in my 20s, I was not on my phone like this. I was not what the hell was streaming? What is that? And I'm not saying that I'm like, this is a ancient concept. It's not. But it wasn't what it was when I was in my 20s. I'm 41. So keep that in mind. I mean, different time frame. I just don't know. Yeah, I don't know how I would perceive a lot of this. I still fully believe Neo had something to do with it, but he probably squealed. Well, and that's the other thing too. Then where does that put Neo? Where does everybody stand with that too? What does she have to say about that? Because she was close to Neo. This was a group of friends, right? So yeah,
Happened last night. I'm just tired of people always wanting to blame the woman. Like, it's so much easier to blame girls in instances. It's so much easier to bully people who have like also like a smaller following. Like, I don't really have a big following. It's never really been about that. I've always just been having fun on social media. Um there's just it's so hard to talk about this shit. Like, streaming is just a place for everyone to get fucking bullied like shit. Like, I had so much fun when I first started out streaming, and then I started streaming with bigger people, and
and I can't tell you. To me, this is such a foreign concept. In my 20s, I don't. A lot of us didn't spend time streaming, right? It's foreign, right? But at the same time, I know what it looks like now. Now that I've seen what it looks like, I understand it. Hey, Danielle, thank you so much for being a member for 8 months. Shout out to you, love. Thank you, Danielle. Thank you for your support. You said, I think the internet was more wholesome in my late earlys and 20s. There you go. There was something more. There was something about the AOL life. You got mail. It's something else, man. Social media was still in its infancy, so it wasn't so toxic. It wasn't what it was now, right? But people, I mean, I make a living on social media. People make a living on social media, right? So it's a different take. I don't know.
I realized exactly how fucked up the streamer community is. Like, I remember I was scrolling on TikTok the other day, and I saw, I think it was Yana who popped up, and I remember like every video I've seen of her, like, she seems really nice, she seems really cool, right? And people in the comments were like, "Oh, she acts like this. Oh my god!" And I was like, "Are we serious, bro? She is like the biggest ball of sunshine that the streaming community has right now."
Yana? Yeah, who is that? See what I'm saying? It's like I don't know these people. Who is Yana? She said Yana. Let me see.
And I saw, I think it was Yana who popped up, and I
I
remember
know
like
that.
every video I've seen of her, like, she seems really nice, she seems really cool, right? And people in the comments were like, "Oh, she acts like this. Oh my god!" And I was like, "Are we serious, bro? She is like the biggest ball of sunshine that the streaming community has right now. Like, and people still want to keep bullying, keep bringing people down. Like, I'll just never understand it, and that's why like it's really hard for me to even want to stream anymore. Like, I took a fat hiatus, and like I get you guys might not care like if I stream or not. I get it. It's more for me. Like, I want to have fun with my community. Like, I don't know, bro. And like a lot of this shit, like, it's very easy to blame someone, right? I understand that there's really high feelings towards everything going on, which is super valid. Like, I want the answers too. I really do. Like, you guys have no idea. But especially with investigators and stuff like that, we can't rush their process. We can't. Um, I don't know. There's so much like there's so much AI bullshit going on and everything. Um,
You know, she sounds like she's overwhelmed. She says having questions about a murder and the people surrounding the circumstances is not bullying. No, being accused of it would be different, right? Having questions about that message that was sent, which by the way, Storm told me, she said that she does address that. This girl doesn't deserve to be ostracized or cast away because of her actions. This girl doesn't deserve her actions or his actions. Hey, Karma, how are you? Um, we didn't have the internet until my eldest son started college 17 years ago. So I'm saying the internet isn't what it was. However, I have a lot of questions, and I think that it's not just of her. She's not the only one that I have questions about. There's other people that I have questions about, right? Like Jason the Ween, Sakura, Neil. These are individuals that I have questions about, right? But I can't really accuse them. I do wonder, like, what did they know? What happened, right? How did we get here? Her actions or not reporting David. And I think that that's where people kind of like, I get that other side of, well, she knew, she was aware that his girlfriend, his quote unquote girlfriend, was a underage child that was missing. Did she ignore it? And I know people say, well, what was she supposed to do? I get that, but I also struggle with it. I don't know. You know, I just haven't approved of her attitude until this video. Oh, okay. So tell me more. Sydney said that she is not, I haven't approved of her attitude until this video. So what changed for you? You said until this video. What changed? The issue with her, I feel like, is she's tone deaf. She's not reading the room. She kind of gives to me that she's kind of like that person that doesn't know how to read the room. I would probably, I can give you that. Mm-hmm. Um, it might be a young situation, like she's 20, right? Young adult thing. Because sometimes, you know, our frontal lobes and all that other, you know, scientific crap, um, it's not there yet, right? You said, wait, I haven't approved of her attitude until this video. This video selfish. You think that this video makes her selfish? Self-absorbed? Socially privileged? Okay. Um, clout chasing? Lord, y'all are really going. Any other nicer words? I You said I agree. Well, I mean, any other words? Y'all, come on now, y'all. Can y'all balance it in the chat? Let's keep going, okay?
I don't know. Why did I pre-record? Why do you guys think this is pre-recorded? I've said like twice this is not pre-recorded. I'm just talking to you guys about the stuff that is going on. I think it's really important that we speak on this stuff. I will say though, there is one thing I do definitely want to talk about with the David situation. Um, which this is super difficult to speak about because I don't know what I'm allowed to talk about. The trial hasn't happened yet. That's one thing that is a really big deal. The trial has not started yet. I'm trying to be respectful. I was on the tour with David. I have been compliant with investigators, police, and everyone who has asked things of me. I've even put out a statement to the public.
The trial has not started. If it has not started, then you haven't seen anything yet. This is only going to get heightened, guys. And I think that that's something she needs to prepare. And I think that this is the time where she needs to step back, right? And reevaluate this circle. I'm sorry. Like, unfortunately, this is where you're going to have to start cutting ties because people are cutting ties with you. And they're allowed to. They're allowed to cut ties with her if they want to. I wouldn't want to be in the same circle, right? Like that there would be something there. I wouldn't be quite ready to process that. And I also think that she needs to get therapy too. She really needs to get something for herself in that sense where she can explore the me and the I and where she's coming from, why she feels this level of unfairness. That's all. It might actually help her out a little bit to understand kind of where she's coming from and maybe even work on that piece of like, Am I tone deaf, or am I not getting it, or these people are wanting this? Am I what exactly is happening? Being compliant with investigators is literally the lowest bar. She's setting the bar incredibly low for herself. Yanni, tell me, where do you stand with this girl, though? Yanni, you're always on point with your comments. I'm kind of curious to know about your thoughts. She talks a bit like David sometimes. It is just me because I'm foreign, and it's just an accent, or oh, okay. You said she's about to be dragged into court unless David takes a plea. Well, it's only going to get worse. That's what I'm trying to tell people, right? It's only going to get worse. If the trial hasn't even started, it's only going to get worse. She really should get a therapist or some kind of mental health support. I truly believe it. She's going to need it. If she's feeling this way right now, imagine what it's going to be like later on. I'm not worried about a party here and there. I don't know. I wouldn't want to be seen in any kind of streamers, but I also think that there is that piece, that there is this level of lack, self-awareness, but she also feels like she's being punished for things that she didn't do. And still the crowd has questions for her. Not just her, but of everybody else. She heard his horrific lyrics. She liked his crap. Cindy, but all right, let me ask you guys a question. My millennials, all right? My millennials. This is for the millennials. Marilyn Manson. How many of y'all listened to that music? Then things started happening. The shooting, the this, the that, school shootings and stuff like that, right? And the people were really outraged. And it was kind of like, well, you're listening to that kind of music. That means that you turn into this, or you're supporting this. I don't know if we can say that about everybody, right? Like, I know a lot of people that listen to Marilyn Manson and they didn't turn out to be X, Y, and Z, right? If that was the preconceived thought that you had about him, right? Or whatever it was. I mean, there was some stuff that was coming out about him, and there's still stuff that comes out about him. So the question is, it's like, even if you're supporting your favorite artist, does that necessarily mean that you're going to turn into whatever that artist is? And that's the part that we have to be careful with. Let's look at this in a very logical sense, because I don't do the satanic panic. I don't. I don't. But at the same time, hey, there is this concept that music can have a mind control thing on you. Okay. And David doesn't really help the situation when he's telling his audience, there's some Easter eggs here. There's some Easter eggs. Okay. So, I mean, I want us to be really real about this, because I know a lot of people here. I listen to a lot of hip hop, rap, gangster rap. Like, to me, I didn't go out there and shoot anybody, right? We can't allow those stereotypes to just fall in us. For me, I just don't, I'm not adopted, and I don't adopt to that concept. You said, I heard, who did? Oh yeah, girl, all the rumors. I heard that he was having, relations with animals. Marilyn Manson. I mean, that was the thing. Marilyn Manson was like the extreme. I mean, and let's not forget all the other ones too. But for whatever reason, Marilyn Manson stands out to me. In Celeste being an unsafe situation, David is responsible for responsible for his doing, excuse me. But she needs to be responsible for her own moral compass. And you said, and I think getting online and looking for support from her stream fans show to me that there's no so much change. She's looking for approval. Yes, I think, is it Naomi? Naomi. I'm going to call you Naomi if that's okay. I think she's looking for validation, right? And I don't blame her to a certain degree. Let me tell you why. If she's a streamer and all she did before all of this happened, went on streams and did stream after stream after stream, right? I expect her to continue to go to the things that she knows, like her audience, to support her. But right now, the people are watching her like a hawk. And who you have in your chat is not the support. This is why I'm like, you need to go get some help. You need to go get some mental health help. You need to go talk to a therapist to help you understand what is going on. I listen to Marilyn Manson. I am now a qualified makeup artist. See? Girl, look at you, and you're gorgeous. Shout out to you. This is what I'm saying. It's like, some of us, I heard, don't hang out with those kids because they listen to that music. Girl, okay. I guess not. I don't know. But I mean, every generation has something. Every generation has something. Okay, but let's keep going, okay?
On Reddit, after I was getting a lot of death threats and harassment towards me and my family. So I don't know what more you guys want me to do. I've raised so much awareness about Celeste Rivas's death, and I feel for her and her family so fucking much. I'm trying not to fucking cry here because obviously, like, I think the worst thing about it is people like are not taking this shit serious. A little.
This is what I'm talking about, okay? So if I am and I'm only gonna point this out. I'm not, don't hate me, chat. Don't hate me. Well, y'all love me anyways, even when you get mad at me. So shout out to y'all. Let's go back a little bit. It's not safe for her to do this right now. Okay. Yes, people want answers, but you going on a stream talking about I'm upset about a party, yada yada yada. This is not working. It's not working for you. I could see somebody saying, "Look at her. She's laughing." Or look at her. Is she trying to not cry or is she laughing, right? Like some of the behavioral, things here that could point out to something else. And that's the piece. Olga, for so long, she was quiet. Now she's raising awareness. I don't know what that looks like. Because honestly, if you're in an investigation, that's the last thing you're going to do is raise awareness, right?
There's so much AI bullshit going on and everything. I don't know. Why did I pre-record? Why do you guys think this is pre-recorded? I've said like twice this is not pre-recorded. I'm just talking to you guys about the stuff that is going on. I think it's really important that we speak on this stuff. I will say though, there is one thing I do definitely want to talk about with the David situation. Which this is super difficult to speak about because I don't know what I'm allowed to talk about. The trial hasn't happened yet.
Okay. Yes, we know this.
That's one thing that is a really big deal. The trial has not started yet. I'm trying to be respectful. I was on the tour with David. I have been compliant with investigators, police, and everyone who has asked things of me. I've even put out a statement to the public on Reddit after I was getting a lot of death threats and harassment.
And it was under that secondary account. We all saw that. We all read the statement. I know I took issue with the statement
towards me and my family. So I don't know what more you guys want me to do. I've raised so much awareness about Celeste Rivas's death, and I feel for her and her family so fucking much. I'm trying not to fucking cry here because obviously
this is the part that I'm like, okay.
Like, I think the worst thing about it is people like are not taking this shit serious. A little girl was killed. We need to take this serious. I just wish people would actually use their brains when it comes to stuff like this. Stop making fake AI evidence. Stop bringing people into this that have nothing to do with this.
Who's making AI edits? I mean, I know that there's been a lot of AI shit. There's been a lot of like lies and stuff like that. I get that part, but who isn't taking this serious? I know we are. I mean, I know my chat is. I'll say that. A lot of us are, but who isn't? And okay, honey, give me 1 second. I don't know, man. I don't know if I necessarily agree with her here. Now, have there been some AI stuff that I have to side eye? I'm like, why are people doing this crap? I don't know. You said as it's as if she wants people to feel sorry for her. And she's not the victim of this crime, right? She's not. But we also can't make her a victim as well. And what do I mean by that? Calling her work and calling her family and threatening her, don't make this woman a victim, right? Like, don't engage in that. I agree with that. If she's telling you guys that people are calling her work and doing the most, don't do that. Because that's not, what is that achieving exactly? Is that supposed to get justice for Celeste? I get that people are outraged, but that's not how you handle stuff, right? So let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's not make her a victim of any of this. It's disgusting that Aysia didn't decide to express herself until she hurt at getting it together. Well, and that's the thing, is like, it took her, you gonna call Scam Buster, shout out to you, my God, Ghostbusters. I'm gonna give me a Ghostbuster shirt. It took her not to be invited, or not invited, but like to be kicked out of a party, basically. Is that what I'm hearing? That's how I see that. We don't want to engage in that, her people calling her. We don't want to do that, right? So I put a little poll up there, and I see that you guys have already voted. I asked you guys, is this attention seeking? You put a 1 in the chat of yes, Lord have mercy already. Y'all have already put 1s, 100%. I got to look at the number exactly. Put 2 if absolutely not. If you don't feel like this is attention seeking. And attention seeking could be also needing validation, needing support. Like, she looks like she needs support. I just think she's going about it the wrong way. She wants to be a victim. Everything about everything she says is that me, poor me. She's been taking this serious since September 8th of 2025. Well, I don't know. To me, it seems like she might have started taking this serious when he got arrested, when the shit really hit the fan. She needs guidance. I could agree with this, Karma. I would agree that she needs guidance. She's maybe the only support system that she knows is a community. Look, all right. So now the chat is moving. All right. I see. Okay. Now, shout out to James. I'm going to read your super chat at the end. Mars, thank you so much, Mar. You guys, make sure you guys are hitting the like button, please, and thank you. Seems like these people are too young to realize the severity of the situation they're in. Seems like their priorities are in the wrong place. Mar, yes. Mar, but I was telling the people, because I do have some young people that follow us. I said, you know what? But I'm at brought up the point. It's like, what were you like in your 20s? And I think that's a valid point. Mar, I'm sure your 20s and my 20s, but I'm 20s and everybody else's 20s were not in this world. Like, we weren't online like that. We weren't streaming. We weren't, hell, I didn't even like taking selfies. Like, that's how I hated that shit. I don't know. For me, I was never a selfie girl. Everybody else around me loved the selfies. I hate the selfies. I avoided taking pictures as much as I could, and only if I needed to, but that was just me. And so for me, it was never a thing. I don't even like to watch my own streams after a while. Like, I don't like watch that shit. But I think that there is this level of immaturity that's happening. And you're right, Mar. Like, she is immature. She's got a lot of growing to do, and she's young. Is it Nixie? Thank you so much for becoming a member. Shout out to you. Okay, let's keep going, guys. Let's keep going.
Like, oh my God. Like, what more can I fucking say, bro? Like, I'm trying to...
Nothing.
I'm trying to talk about things. I'm trying to be straightforward. But this is all just like, this is fucking hell. This situation is hell. And
what more can she say? I think nothing. Nothing else. Even this video, even the videos that she's done before where she couldn't read the room, nothing else. Even posting on Reddit, nothing. Right? You let the record speak for itself. I say do nothing else. Because that's it right here. And Nixie, thank you again for becoming a member. This is it right here. Because it's hard. And I'm being very genuine, guys. I'm being very, very genuine. I don't mean to like, I'm not trying to be bitchy here. But looking at the gravity of the crime, it's so hard to see why this has had an impact on you when nobody can really tell me how or why this child ended up in the trunk of his car, dismembered. Like, I'm not there yet personally, and I'll say less because that's how I feel. But nothing that she says right now is going to help that. Nothing is going to help that. Am I wrong for saying this? I don't know, but I don't know. Sometimes silence is the best, even if people are hounding you and they're following you. And I get it, because nothing that you say is ever going to make sense of this crime. And now that I'm a parent, nothing that you say is ever really going to help out, right? I'm sorry. Talk to me till I'm blue and I still won't get it. Right? You say, Rabbi, you know what? Maybe she's coming out saying all this now because there could be more people that go down. Self-preservation is a real thing, right? They can't get offline because that's where they make their money. Kelly J, thank you. This is how she makes her bread. And you know what? That's okay. I'm a social media commentator. I make money this way too. So I'm not to judge her, right? But you're absolutely right. This is their job. I don't know if she knows anything else but this. She has nothing else to help. 10 to 15 years from now, she will look back and realize she could have handled this differently. I truly believe that too, Abraham. I do. I truly believe that. I think that I've never in my life, in my 20s, I mean, I've dealt with some crazy ass shit, but I want you to think about if you've ever been in a relationship or a friendship or whatever, where you're with somebody that's significantly abusive, a sociopath, all these kinds of things. I've been in those kinds of situations, or I had a stalking situation when I was in my 20s, right? Really bad, really, really bad. Okay. Like I had my tire slashed. It was really bad, really scary. Um, I look back, that was in my 20s. I look back and I'm like, I wonder if I could have done this different, handled this different, or what did, and I do a lot of self reflection of like, did I lead this person on? Did I do this? Did I do that? Right? There is a lot of that. So maybe she might do that in the next 10 to 15 years, like Abraham says. Like, and this is where we learn from this. But not right now. She can't do this right now. Because Celeste Rivas Hernandez doesn't have 10 or 15 years, right? We don't have that for her. Okay. She never got to turn 15. So this is the part. This is very difficult. So I get it. I go back and forth on this. Please know. Okay.
I'm trying not to fucking cry here because obviously, like, I think the worst thing about it is people like are not taking this shit serious. A little girl was killed. We need to take this serious. I just wish people would actually use their brains when it comes to stuff like this. Stop making fake AI evidence.
Yeah, I don't like
Stop
that.
bringing people into this that have nothing to do.
AI evidence. What the hell? Well, and I have seen. I don't know about AI evidence. Well, what AI evidence have we seen, guys? Let me know. Let me know. Sassy Savage, thank you so much for this $5. Say, Rabbit, thank you, beautiful, mature, vulnerable, publicly, without self-help, and therapy is dangerous. Yeah, she really does need some help. I really do hope that she gets some therapy because she needs that. And that's not to say like, however I feel about her, it shouldn't really matter, but she does need some help. I do. The key, that's the key, maturing and self-reflection. We can only hope she will not yeah, I mean, we hope that she gets there. You said, I don't think she's addressing the David thing. She said it's herself, and she is here to tell about what happened at the party. There's the thing. This is about the party. She didn't. That's how I perceive it. I'm like, you're upset about the party, not. I don't know about the other stuff as much, and being uninvited and having everybody's back and people not validating her. You said, until there's proof otherwise, I blame no one but David. Flossie, how are you, Flossie? I haven't seen you in a minute. She says she's looking for a hug box. A hug box. I want a hug box of validation, not accountability of her choices, and off center moral compass. Ooh, Flossie coming in. You said Neo has his mama's money and apparently clout, so it's able to stay in the background. Ooh, y'all are really coming in. Y'all are really coming in spicy. Shout out to y'all, okay?
Do with this. Like, oh my god, like what more can I fucking say, bro? Like I'm trying to talk about things. I'm trying to be straightforward. But this is all just like this is fucking hell.
Mm-hmm.
This situation is hell, and hell for everyone who had to be around that dude. Like I don't know, bro. Oh yeah, and then okay. That's something I can talk to you guys about though. Okay. So there's a screenshot going around of me texting someone in 2024, right? And it's like this random girl that I'm not even close with. I think I worked with her one time and that's why we were mutuals. So I can actually break down exactly what happened there because everyone's a little confused. I didn't feel like I was able to talk about this because I didn't know what was legally acceptable, or if I talked about something, it was like tampering with evidence. You know what I mean? But anyways, I texted this girl because I see this, the missing poster, and I'm like, yo, that's my friend's girlfriend, because I knew David was dating this girl. That's common knowledge, right? So I respond back, and on the missing poster, unfortunately, what people don't understand is you can't see the screenshot that girl had posted. You couldn't see her age. You couldn't see really much info. So that's why I had responded, and I was like, hey, like I was genuinely just concerned for her. I was like, hey, this is my friend's girlfriend. Like, what's going on? And then she goes, can you confirm she's 13? Of course, I go, what the fuck? Okay, because obviously that's a big thing to say. And David used to be my homie. So I'm like, oh, nah, my close homie's fucking with a minor? Hell no, I don't fuck with that shit. So immediately I go to David. And I'm like, hey, this girl saying that you're fucking with a fucking 13-year-old, you need to explain yourself. He was like, dude, that's not even true. Like, she's like 19. And I was like, no, she's not. She said she's 13. Like, show me proof. And you know what? He showed me proof. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna back off. I feel like I'm harassing my friend. Obviously, now that's a little.
What proof? Did she get to the proof? See, I didn't watch this part. Did she get to the proof part? One of my questions would be, how the hell you have her ID, or what was the proof? Her birth certificate, her ID? What happened? What had happened? I don't know, girl. I don't know.
Much. And obviously there was more conversation than that. I can't get into every single detail for legal reasons, but I didn't just go, oh, hey, is your friend 13? And he went, no. And I was like, oh, okay, la 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 la. Like I wasn't being stupid. I was like, no, show me proof. Okay? Like I need to see actual evidence because I think you're fucking with a minor. And obviously when my friend tells me, he's like, no, I'm not, shows me proof that he is not, and I harass him more, and he's like, dude, like chill the fuck out, like manipulated the fuck out of me, to be honest. I was like, okay, like honestly, I'm tripping. Geez, okay, I'm a layoff. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much the explanation with the screenshot. I know a lot of people have been wanting me to talk about it, but the sad thing about the internet is I could give you guys all the information in the world, y'all still will not believe me. It really doesn't matter what I say. People are just not going to believe me.
So if it was an ID, it was a fake ID, right? That said that she was 19. Okay. And I guess the other part too, Flojo says, why didn't she ask Celeste? Was she following Celeste on social media too, Flojo? Do we know that? You said, girl, there ain't no gag order. Look at Kim in here, coming in here. Listen, I'm going to drop the link pretty soon so we can have a conversation with the people that want to have a conversation. Because I know I got people, as long as we keep it cute and respectful, because I know a lot of us do not agree with different things that come to this. Let's keep it cute and respectful. I'm willing to do it. But I don't want no hurt feelings. Okay? I don't want nobody getting upset. All right? So let's just keep going.
And that's just how it is. And no, like I can't like explain to you guys what he showed me. I can't prove things to you guys, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't matter if I give you guys the answers. The internet's always going to spin things and always going to do this shit to me. I don't know.
And that's a great question. It's like, well, she's upset about the age thing, but doesn't confront him about the missing part. That would be my question too. Like, what about the missing part? I mean, you guys let me know what you guys think. And thank you, Nixie, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Let me hit play on this.
I'm even like, I'm looking at the chat right now, and even like, yeah, see, it's like people literally just attacking me. But for sure, bro. I have not protected anyone. The moment investigators wanted to speak to me, I told them everything I knew because I just wanted to, whatever information I can give, I just wanted to help. But yeah, I mean, people are saying that I'm protecting certain people the very moment I found out about this shit. I mean, like, even on tour.
Yeah.
When this stuff happened.
Yeah, but the missing poster was done when she was alive. It was, I think, what, in 2024? February 2024 was when that poster was out. And it's a legit missing poster. It has her age, like it has all of her details. It's got the pictures out there. People disagreeing with her isn't attacking her. These words were getting thrown around to push her victim narrative. It's crazy. You said, ooh, yo. You said, I wonder if she will tell the truth after the trial. What do you think she's lying about, Kelly J? Let me know. I don't like this girl. I don't trust a single bone in her body. She needs to stay gone and be on it. Ah, y'all are vicious. She could have spoken to Celeste about getting in touch with her family and letting them know where she was. She gets kicked out of a party and now she's the victim. What the fuck? Well, and that's the thing is like, there's that. You said, but the missing poster Aysia saw didn't have her age on it. That's the question. Doesn't it have her age on it? Because that somebody figured out she was 13. She needs one good statement from her attorney and get off the internet until after the trial. Well, I don't know if she can afford an attorney, right? Like, that's, these attorneys, shout out to my attorneys, but attorneys are expensive. You know what I mean? To you, she's guilty. For me, she's guilty by association. Well, I will say this, again, I coming from it as a mother, I would be very upset with her. I would, that's just how I feel. Not that she's at fault. It's just that how I see it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Was Celeste's social media account the proof? I'm sure she had to lie, but that's not proof. Yeah, I think it was the missing person poster. And then the person told her in the chat that she was 13. So there's that. There's that. All right, let's keep going, okay?
And I immediately flew away from that tour. Like, I've just been terrified ever since. I took like a fat hiatus, obviously, from socials because this is honestly crazy. I'll probably be taking another break from socials due to the way that this shit's happening. Yeah, people are, that's crazy. This is wild. Anyways, yeah, I know a lot of people are like, oh yeah, maybe just take a break from things. I took a break for like 8 months, but people forget, like, I do enjoy like making content and being on social media, and if I didn't do anything wrong, I don't really understand why I have to. I've been so respectful to the case. Even when I wanted to go on the internet and just start like rambling about everything going on, I stayed quiet for the respect of, information not getting tampered with and for everything to go directly to investigators. But, like, honestly, there's really nothing I can do to make things better. All right, well, yeah, I don't fuck with streaming. I think this community is way too toxic. You guys are all too young. Jeez. All right.
Y'all want to watch Ryan's World? I'm just joking. We're not watching Ryan's World. Thoughts and opinions? Let me know. Thoughts and opinions. Let me drop the link for the people in the chat. For those that want to come up, as long as you said, Taffy said, main character syndrome. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Maybe some of us are looking through adult lenses. That is a good point. I am. I'll tell you, I'm a mom. I'm looking at this way. You better hope your own life never becomes a social media spectacle, right? Could be true. I could see that side too, right? Based on what she's saying, I'm guessing the investigators asked her about David and Celeste when she was alive. It doesn't seem like they knew. Yeah, after her body was found. Sorry about that. Yeah, let me I'm gonna put the link down. A couple people can come up. I'm gonna put a little marker here because I'm not trying to get nobody's porn. I don't want to see nobody's goodies up here. Okay. And I ain't trying to get kicked out. Just identify yourself and make sure that, we're gonna keep it cute and respectful. I have a feeling that we might see different sides of it. We don't have to agree, but we're all adults. Let's act like it. Act like adults on the internet. Look at me telling y'all what to do. All right. So I dropped the link. You guys can hit it. Anybody that wants to come up that I'm like, this might be a good idea to do a little panel, Hold up, guys. Let me make sure. Did I drop the link? Or am I making that up? I know I dropped the link. Where'd it go? back live again. Oh, yeah. Okay, hold up. There it is. There's my link. Okay, stop chat. Stop moving, chat. Pin message. The chat is moving so fast, I can't even control it. All right. First, everybody says 2 minutes. Okay. You dropped it. I did. I can't even. I know the chat was moving fast though. You said I can look at it from the younger side and the adult mom side. It's still all sus on both sides. Is Kelly J. Okay. All right then. All right. Well, the link is there. Y'all don't hit it all at once. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, or in the link. I hidden it. Welcome everybody. Welcome. You said, okay, hold up. Let me shout out some people. I didn't even shout out and read. First of all, James, shout out to James, who says, sad duty to report the death of my granddad, who was ran over by a boat in Venice. Thank you to those of you who have already sent your condolences. Thank you, James. Thank you. Thank you for keeping it cute. Thank you. And James says, what do you call it? Chinese, what do you call Chinese sign language? Harderin instead of Mandarin? Harderin? Bye, James. Thank you. All right. The link is there. Devil's advocate, you said. Okay, hold up. Let me make sure that this is the actual Joe and not some other Joe. All right. Joe, are you there?
Yeah, buddy.
Oh my gosh. I'm surprised. I thought there'd be other people hitting the link because I was like, people said that they wanted to come up. So, okay.
A lot of people say that until you put the link down, don't they?
I know. What is it? Y'all get scared or what?
I think so.
Chicken
but
shit.
You got to tell me what's going on because I just want attention. So you got to just tell me what's
all
on.
right. So let me tell you what's going on. So what do you know so far about the Aysia?
Aysia was the one who's, and I think I remember this part of the story. Aysia was the one who went to social media and said when she found out Celeste might be a minor, she hit up David. David showed her a bunch of IDs that were supposed to belong to Celeste. That was Aysia's story, right?
She's not saying IDs there, but apparently that might have been the thing.
I thought that's what she said initially. Because
I heard that initially too, but she's not confirming it here. So I wonder it's because she's already talked to law enforcement about that.
I heard that on Kadishalin's video. When she made that video when that news was fresh. Yeah, and that was my comment because that's why I wrote down. She said IDs, plural, which really threw me off. IDs, plural. First off, why does he have her IDs, plural? And why are there IDs, plural? I don't have IDs, plural. I'm 40. I don't have IDs, plural. So that's why I'm wondering, what did you see? And actually, here's another one I want. Did you see a passport? Maybe that's why they hit her up. Now that we know London came up. And someone said there was a London, Texas. Is that true? I'll take your word for it, but it seems like everyone's thinking London, England.
There's a London, Texas, but there's also a London. But I think the London that she went to was London.
Everyone's thinking the real London, not the fake one in Texas. They're thinking the real one.
Joe, give me 1 second. Annika, I see you in my studio, but I'm going to need you to connect your devices so that way we can hear you. Annika's up here. Hopefully she'll get that situated.
Yeah, for those of you who have never used StreamYard before, you have to unmute your microphone. Yeah, now like Joe said, she said IDs, plural. Like, what does this girl have?
Yeah.
I think some people are 21 or 22 and they don't even get their license yet because, well, I don't trust these people with cars.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that always stood out to me. So she expected David to have her IDs. She didn't say anything about any skepticism because I've never held on to a girl's ID. You see what I mean?
Yeah, it's a weird.
And I've never let anybody hold on to mine. So unless there's just a part of life I don't understand, I'm wondering why she trusted that, if that's true.
She didn't say what kind of IDs though, right? It could have been a gym ID, a school ID. It could have been a driver's license ID. I'm just thinking of the various kinds of IDs that you can have.
Yeah, it was a real short story. And she went straight to the point. She saw IDs plural. And again, when you say it like that, just IDs plural, it irritated me a bit.
For sure. Or college ID.
Yeah, because I would never, like I said, I won't leave my stuff to anybody else. And, if somebody leaves stuff in my house, yeah, hold it, cool. But I don't hold anything for anybody else. And the fact that this man had at least 2 belonging to somebody else, they don't live side by side. You see what I mean? Yeah, it's not to call Aysia. I didn't think Aysia was lying. It's just that the story was odd. It just really stood out to me that someone is possessing more than one ID of someone else. Because if this girl is 18 or 19, what is she using when she has to meet her daily responsibilities?
Right.
So it just felt like the story is missing story. It just felt like there was a gap in the story. Yeah, you see what I mean? It just felt like a huge gap in the story right away. And let me also jump to her defense, because it seems like I'm the only one who will. If she didn't do anything, then there's no point in going at her. If she doesn't know anything, there's nothing for her to say. If she does know something, she's better off not saying. Personally, I prefer she didn't say a word. If she knows something about the first degree in mutilation, personally, I prefer she didn't say anything. Okay. Because if she's taking outside influence and she takes that into a court, that's a minor. It's a minor victory for David.
Yeah.
And we're already at this point where we're going to wonder if that medical examiner's report was significantly altered.
So let me stop you right. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Joe.
No, you stop me. Stop me. I was okay. I'll finish. I was just talking to Joe about that, because I don't think that the exhibit's going to get scrapped. Our courts generally presume that once there's evidence of a crime, our public has an interest in seeing everything solved at a trial. So the judge has a lot of ways to remedy this. They can limit certain statements if more than one examiner, more than one employee from the office was supposed to talk at the trial, then the judge might limit that.
Okay.
The judge can fix this, but ultimately, also at the same time, really the point of the report is to prove there was a death at the scene of a crime. It's not about proving what David did necessarily. That's not what the examiner's responsibility is. Ultimately, the examiner is there to explain that there was a death at the scene of the crime. Gotcha. So it's with that in mind, like I said, I think the judge might narrow some of the information that comes out of the report, but I doubt it's getting scrapped. So this is going to trial no matter what.
No matter what. So Joe, let me stop you, because I got Karma and Mar Lugo up here with us.
Sure.
Karma, if you want to unmute yourself, what do you think about this? Aysia, what do you think about this situation overall, and where do you stand? I don't know if Karma, you're not muted, so I don't know if you can talk. I don't know if your device is connected. Okay, I don't think Karma's connected. Mar, how are you, Mar?
I'm good. Oh my goodness.
I'm so happy you're up here, girl. Oh my
God. So for me, every time I see this young lady, I feel like I look at it in 2 ways. I feel like I'm older, but I'm not that much older. So when I listen to her, the mom in me is like, who the heck is around this young lady that can tell her to think, stop and think before she gets online. The mom in me understands like the severity of the situation. But then I I like to think I can still think the young way. So I kind of put myself in her shoes when I was that age. And my priorities were all wrong. I used to think about, when's the next party? What am I going to wear? Where are we going out? It's Thursday, blah, blah. There's somewhere to go on Friday. My priorities weren't in the right place because I wasn't old enough to sit and think about the consequences that can follow the way we do now. It's almost like when the twins ask me for hot Cheetos and I say no, no way, Jose. They see it like mommy's being mean, or mommy doesn't ever let us have hot Cheetos. I see it like they stick to your teeth and they ruin your teeth, and then they can cause ulcers. Why would I give my kids hot Cheetos? You know? So that's the way that I see it. Like, she's looking at it from the twins type of brain, you know, and I'm looking at it and criticizing her from an older type of brain, if that makes sense.
Yes, yes, I'm shaking my head. I got you. I got you. So you feel like this girl's very young. She doesn't really, and I also kind of wonder, it doesn't sound like she's got other supports, but also like she makes money online. So this is her only way of truly like getting there. Now, hold up. Karma, can you hear us?
Hello?
Oh, Karma, there you are. Okay, now we hear you. What do you think, Karma? You've been very vocal in the
And
chat.
that's understood, Rabbit. She makes that's understood. Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. Somebody needs to mute. Hold up, Karma. Let me mute you real quick, okay? And then you can speak. Go ahead.
That's understood. She makes money off of being online. Hold up, Karma. Let me mute you real quick, okay? And then you can speak. Go ahead. Sorry, I think I'm a little bit delayed.
You are
I
delayed.
understand she makes money off of being online, right? That I do understand that. But also, because of being online so much, yeah, I am delayed. I understand she makes money off of being online, and I would be the same, but at the same time, also off of being online so much, sometimes this generation gets like an addiction to it. So she's she's just got to have some older people around her. Somebody's got to tell her, like, hey, you probably don't understand right now, but please trust me. Later on, you will. Right now, you need to keep calm, keep quiet. You will come out of this. We all do. Right now, it seems like it's the end of your life. I wish I would have had some people telling me that back then. I mean, I did have my
No.
parents who were super strict,
Yeah.
but some of the stuff that I did when I was young, I wish I would have had an older buddy telling me, like, no, let's not do that. But that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you for giving me the time, Rabbit. And hopefully you guys are all having a great, wonderful Saturday.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mar. It was really good hearing you. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you, lady. Have a good one. Karma, I don't know where you went. I don't know why you dropped. Come back. Your sound was good. And then you dropped. Where did Karma go? Anyways, hopefully they'll come back.
I don't know. Yeah, she sounded good for a second, and then
She sounded
she
good for a
sounded
second.
godly, and then she just disappeared.
What do you think, Joe, about what Mar said about, maybe needing guidance and her being I think she needs therapy. I think she needs a lot of guidance, but I think that, maybe she's going to the community that she knows for self-validation of
Well, yeah,
something.
I think everyone's unanimous about it that something went wrong at home. Something was going on, and we looked at we looked at the police reports from early on, like minor crimes. Okay, so a minor was involved. That doesn't mean she did it. Just meant that a minor was involved. So the cops have been there multiple times. Then we saw her fighting with the neighbors. And for people who don't know Riverside County, it can get really bad. So I'm not I don't know to judge because I'm not aware of the whole thing well enough. And really what this comes down to is the decisions of somebody. Now, we can talk all day about whether or not she should have been within arm's reach of David at any point in her life. Ultimately, we're supposed to be blaming the guy who actually committed the crime against her. So whether or not she was out past curfew or any of that stuff, all that's missing the point. Okay, you could always say, sure, if not for going over to the Hollywood Hills area 90 minutes away from home, she might still be alive. Okay, you can make that argument, but ultimately, this is somebody wanted her dead. So whether or not she went to him or he went to her, it's just all missing the point to me. And people are putting too much weight on mom, and they just don't know enough. And maybe that's why they're putting so much weight on mom, because they don't know enough. They're reaching for something. And in this case, unfortunately, it's bringing the worst out of everybody. Everybody's reaching for something to be mad about. I don't feel like Aysia did anything. if the government had that, they could have locked her up too. And I know there are all these conversations about immunity and so on. Those are all guesses right now. If she, I don't know why people want to believe the whole house helped him chop up the body. It's just not. It doesn't make sense to me. It's not my tendency to just jump ship, start blaming people. Okay,
Yeah.
Morgan Roth is the only one who said anything, and that's his name, right? Morgan Roth,
Yeah,
the manager.
Morgan Roth. That's right.
He's the only one that said anything that was really suspicious to me when he was caught saying, "Is that Abe? How you doing?" When he was caught outside the courthouse talking on the phone. He said, he answered the question. Why didn't you call the police? He said, I didn't think that was my job. I didn't think I had that responsibility. I just wanted to get on with the tour.
And that's a whole ass adult, guys. I mean, I'm not giving any credit to Aysia either, but that's a whole ass, that's a man well over 30 who said that.
Yeah.
So I think that's something to kind of keep in mind. Okay, I got Karma and Abram here. Hey, Karma, can you hear me? Abram, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, sis, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. All right, Karma, take it off. I'm gonna, but then you can speak next. But go ahead and Karma, let me know because you've been in the chat. I've been seeing your comments, and you feel very heavily about, that she needs guidance, and I'm kind of curious to know what your thoughts are.
Yeah, I look at Aysia as my daughter. I don't have a daughter. I have a son. He's 30, and the information I would give her first of all is to, as a mother, I would tell her to get her ass off the social media, stop talking. And I will get my daughter some therapy if she's not in therapy already. Because again, like I said before, these young kids, they are going through some stuff. I don't know what it is that they're going through, but we didn't have social media where we were, under the lens or a microscope for the whole world to sit there and judge us. So a lot of us need to take that into some type of consideration. But again, I'm looking through the lens of an adult. I don't judge kids because, again, we were all kids once before. We all made mistakes. We corrected those mistakes. And a lot of us have kids ourselves now. And I look at myself as a leader. So, with Miss Aysia, I just feel she needed to get off the social media. Like she said she was going to take a hiatus. She did once before, but then I think she just needs to take a little bit longer because she's not over all the stuff that's going on. And people are out there not to forgive her. And I understand, we have people, they can't take their emotions out of things and look at this young lady and say, okay, you know what? She made a mistake. She's forgivable, redeemable. Let's lift this lady up, this young lady, because these kids are our future. You guys got to understand that they're the one that's going to be taking care of us. So if we don't, help them so they can help us, we're all going to be screwed. All of us going to be screwed. So that's pretty much all I wanted to say.
That's a good point. Well, and again, she's also, what is the crime that she committed? To me, there is a moral issue at hand, right? Just like Morgan Roth, where, he didn't feel like he needed to report anything, him being a grown-ass man. She's younger, and I can understand that piece. But at the same time, like, I struggle with it too, because I'm like, well, my oldest is 18. Celeste could very well have been my daughter. You know what I mean? Like, it's that part that it's like, I have a hard time with that. Abraham, what do you think? Because you've also been very vocal of like, I don't blame her. Tell me what you think.
Okay, so I think she's in a tough position because look at her age. When I'm gonna form an opinion on something, I like to put myself in the shoes of the person. What would I have done at that age? Would I have the knowledge I have today to make the right decision? At that age, we didn't have the audacity to go up to our friends and ask them about their other friend's age. We don't know how many times she was around Celeste. According to her, it was once, I think, right? And, David probably kept Celeste away from his friends that could actually question her age. So I feel for her because what was she supposed to do? Beat him? Just because of a suspicion. When she found out about Celeste, she asked a question, he gave her an answer. What was she to do after that? Other than, wait and see what happened and then distance herself when I guess her body was found, I think. It was when she
Yeah.
distanced herself.
I think it was, I mean, she didn't say anything. I'm not really sure the timeline. I'm sure Flojo knows, but let me get Naomi. What do you think, Naomi?
Yeah, so I differ. I think she has a lot of responsibility in the fact, not for the murder, of course, but in terms of she, even if she decided to believe David, she would have had a niggling gut feeling that something wasn't right. You were told by somebody that she was 13, and you've seen Celeste in person. And like from the streams that we've seen of Celeste when she was with David, she spoke like a child, she looked like a child, and like there's no way that I think we give her way too much of a bly, because we can all see that Celeste was a child, and even if she's 20, is she 23 or something like that doesn't take away from her knowing what a child looks like, and I think she should take responsibility for that. So while she didn't know it was going to end in this way, I think she really should have taken responsibility for the situation that she was in, and what she didn't do.
Gotcha. Flojo, what do you think?
I mean, I went live on this earlier, but I'm gonna take a somewhat of a different stance. I mean,
Yes.
Aysia has kind of come out multiple times now. She's done a live before. She went on a Reddit rant, and she did this live. Granted, maybe it was for what we perceive as the wrong reasons, but I think this girl's given us as much as she could, right? And I feel sorry for her, because at the same time, right? It doesn't matter what she does. It doesn't matter if she stays off the internet. It doesn't matter if she comes out and gives us 110% of the truth. Half of the internet's not going to believe her. Half of the internet's going to tell her to go KYS, right? And I don't know. There's really no good time for her to come out and speak. I think maybe we just all have to give her a little bit of grace and wait till the trial takes place, because maybe later on down the road, she's going to have a lot of good information to give us, a lot of information that we've never heard before. I mean, she was indeed very, very close to David for a long period of time. So I think we just kind of have to wait. But that's my take here on your panel. I had a very different take elsewhere.
Do you think that, okay, what crime? I mean, what crime did, and I mean it, like, what crime did she commit? I know that
she hasn't.
She hasn't, right? There's a moral issue here at hand, right? I'm, as a parent, and I know, Naomi, you probably feel the same. If you guys have children, right, around that age range, that I would be heartbroken to know that there would have been an opportunity for my child to have been saved, and through these messages, one way or another, but it was ignored. Whether wrong, right, or indifferent, it would be very hard for me to get past that as a parent, right? But that's just my feelings, and my feelings aren't fact. It's just how I feel, right?
I think what's difficult too is that she has a lot of conflicting information coming out, right? The fact that she says she's only met her once, but they've been in the same place at the same time on multiple occasions. That's documented publicly.
Yeah. I noticed that too. Self-preservation is real for Aysia. I noticed that.
Yeah. So I mean, if what you're saying is incorrect, then maybe come out and correct yourself too, because a lot of people, look, you go on the Reddit, she went on the Reddit rant, and people are picking out every sentence that she says. So if there's something that's incorrect, like, correct it, so we know what the truth is, because now you just look like somebody who's lying to save yourself.
I do want to make a comment, and this is a comment for the chat. Have you guys ever been in a room with a couple of people, maybe 10 people, we'll say, and you never got the opportunity to speak to one or two of those people because you just was not vibing with them? Could be that you judge them from what you see from afar, but there's times when I have been in a room and I've never spoken to the person. I can be at the same party, same meeting, whatever, 3 or 4 times and still not know that person. You're not going to know everything about an individual. And if you do, sometimes people are not going to give you the real facts about themselves right off front, because they don't know.
That's so true.
So the thing is, we sitting here judging this little girl as if she knew Celeste like her ace boo coon. No, you guys gonna have to understand that and stop putting your foot into Celeste and Aysia's shoes. Stop that. Stop it.
I guess you're so right. You are
I
so
guess I
right.
disagree a little bit in the fact that we like even the fact you refer to her as a little girl. She's in her 20s. She's grown. The only little girl in this situation was Celeste. So whilst you're
Yeah.
right, she might not have had a lot of conversation with her. I don't know. I just don't feel like I was like you give a 20-year-old that much grace to take full responsibility from them in that way. So while she's not guilty of anything, and I agree, I'm a bit like she doesn't help herself in the way that she spins it to her being a victim, so to speak. And the only level of care that she shows is because people are judging her online. It doesn't seem to be the fact that something has happened to Celeste. But yeah, I don't know. It bugs me when people say like, oh, she's young, she's this, because I think she's old enough to be responsible for her behavior and to acknowledge where she could have done better.
Yeah.
But
Right. And
when
I
you're that
but
age, when you're
sorry.
that age, you don't think of you don't know that you have a responsibility as an adult to say something, to act upon what you're seeing. At that age, you're like, it's none of my business. That's the way, our mind works at that age. You
I,
don't care. You're like,
I
it's
don't
none of
know
my
about
business. That's your business.
maybe it's different. I'm from the UK. You guys probably can all
By
tell.
the way, we
But
love your accent. We're over here talking about and let me just say this, Justice of Journey, I'm going to have you speak next, but go ahead and finish your thought.
yeah,
Naomi.
no, I was gonna say, yeah, I think maybe like, but over here we are taught from quite young within schooling that we have a responsibility to look out for people. If something's not right, speak out. And that's just a dialogue that's had. And so I find it quite hard to say that she doesn't have that knowledge. It might be scary for her to act upon, but I feel like she would have that knowledge surely at some point.
Can I say this though, Naomi? I really love that. One thing about the UK, and I could be wrong, chat correct me or Naomi correct me. Your guys' age of consent is what, 16?
Yeah.
So keep that in mind, right? Because we're over here, a lot of, I'm assuming everybody here besides you is in the US, right? So we know that age of consent is going to vary from state to state, but typically what? It's over the age of 18 for most. So I think that's interesting. That's that other concept that, we're talking about a child with a grown man. So, and then having one country and then us over here that see consent in two different ways. Justice for Journey of Justice. Shout out to you. Tell me your thoughts. Sound off. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is actually a really good point that we came to because I was doing a little bit of research and it says to bring a minor out of the country without their parents, you will need a child travel consent form signed by both parents and notarized, the child's valid passport, and a copy of their birth certificate to prove your relationship. And then it's talking about preparing properly, notarized consent, destination requirements. Some countries have a strict anti-trafficking and abduction laws and may require specific forms of identification. And it goes on and on. Airlines and unoccupied minors, if the minor is flying alone or with an airline without a parent, the airline will likely classify them as an unoccupied minor. So I found that quite interesting because there's got to be a way that he got her out of the country. That means that the parents had to have consented in some way. And I just wanted to point out one other thing that I was just thinking about is the fact that he did not throw away her passport, but rather dropped it off, in that one area that was actually found. And I'm thinking he was later going to retrieve it as sort of a memorabilia. That's just the main point I wanted to bring up.
What do you think about Aysia and her video? What do you think about the statement? Do you feel
honestly? I feel that really, I'm actually the who you're going to call scam busters is who my thing is when I was commenting because I watch a lot of scam buster type videos. But I honestly feel that it took her to the point where she was hurt, she was crying, and I feel like she was crying for herself, and it just feels kind of gross that she waited this long to actually say anything. And, that's just really weird that finally it comes to the point where, and I feel that she actually said this publicly because she wanted, the people that hurt her to hear it so she can finally say something. So that's just kind of my opinion on that. It just,
Like it's
it
Can I
feels
ask you a
rough.
question?
Go ahead.
Uh-huh.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
You said that you thought she was crying for herself and only herself.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes,
how would you,
that's what I feel.
but if you were wrong, how would you know?
I could be wrong. That's just my opinion. I feel that it took her this long to say something, and it's like her excuse was she could jeopardize the investigation. It could jeopardize her saying anything for the court thing, but yet now she's saying it, and the court thing didn't even go through yet. But she decided at this point to say something, and I feel that she waited this long because suddenly she sees that it's affecting her life around these people that she used to be around, and now they're not accepting her. And I feel that it's that they all like turn their backs on David, but she waited this long to actually like publicly be this, obvious about turning her back on David. You know what I mean?
But didn't she explain the reason why it took her so long to come out and put whatever information she put out now because of the investigation? I mean, come on now. You don't,
Karma,
what if she
was
wait a minute,
doing
wait a
it.
minute, sis, wait a minute, hold on.
Oh, go ahead.
What if someone told her, hey, it's probably best to not put any information out there because you could, incriminate yourself or whatever. She's still being investigated as well because she was part of that little clique. So you guys gonna have to understand, you can't just jump out there and start throwing it. And then if you do throw out the information, like Aysia said, you're gonna sit there and judge and start, tearing it apart anyhow. No matter how she put it out there or how many times she put it out there, you're still gonna have a problem with it. You know what? Like I said, if I was Aysia or Asia's mom, sister, aunt, whatever, I would tell her, do not go out there and put that mess on the internet. Stay off the internet. But see, that's me. That's me.
But why did she wait until now? Why did she wait until she got so hurt? And when she was speaking, she started like breaking, her voice started, crackling because she was about to cry when she felt so hurt about how she was treated. Why did she wait until now when she could have said the same things?
To be fair, right? And Karma, this is what I was trying to tell you is she has come out, and this is what FloJo said, that there's been multiple times where she's come out, she's given one version of a situation and the next version of another situation. So then hence she even admitted that she went into the Reddit and gave off, and that statement was a very full-on statement. And I think it's a lot. I think if you're looking at it as an outsider, and I get the concept that she's young, right? Totally get it. But there is a lot of self-preservation that she's trying to do. She's trying to save herself, and because she makes money online, like I get that, she's trying to help in that situation, trying to alleviate. But we can't, for me, not being there, a lot of us, we don't know. We don't know what we don't know. We also have to take into account that the man, Morgan Roth, he's a 30-plus-year-old man who he even got reamed at the court because he didn't report. So we have to be able to keep the same energy between that old ass guy and this young woman, right?
Yeah, and I get that she'd come out and put out whatever information she can throw out there. However, she's a young adult. Young people, they want to be accepted. They want to, sit there and express themselves. Again, she's grown up in a whole different era from us. So we cannot sit there and expect a lot out of these young people. We can't. Not yet, at least. And, wait until they get some more experience under their belt, and then they're going to start making better decisions in life and things like that. But as far as the other gentleman, the one that whatever his name is, the R guy, I can't speak for him. I really haven't followed whatever he put out there, with social media. But as far as Aysia, I just jumped on and started listening to, some of the things. That's why I jumped on this call here. And so, again, I'm not sitting here justifying anything of what's her name? Asia's behavior.
Yeah.
I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying.
Gotcha.
You guys gonna have to understand how these young folks are thinking nowadays, how their brains are developed nowadays. Their brains are not the same as ours. Now, if I was young like her, I probably would make the same decisions that she made, not to that extent, but there's some things I probably would have done. And I look back and say, you know what? I think I should have. I probably should have.
I have a question. So if you're saying we should understand where they're coming from, because personally it sounds a bit like excusing her behavior based on her age, but how does, if we are saying it's okay for her to have behaved in the way that she has, just in terms of the stuff that she's kind of mentioned and how she's explained it for herself, does that not mean we continue to allow this generation, because they've got the internet now and all these different things, to continue to behave in a way that puts children at risk? Or are we going to say hold them accountable so that the same things don't happen again?
And then Naomi, to add to that, right? Let's talk about, if we're talking about age. Well, David's 21. He's young, right? Look at the crime is being charged with, right? So are we making this about age, or are we talking about the bigger problem here, right? What are we doing? That's what I want to know. Because you could say the same about David too. He's 21. He's young. He's going to learn from this. Or can you?
He's making adult decisions too, you know, at a young age. Still, brain to me, the brain, I don't know how many medical physicians we have in, or nurses or doctors, whatever we have in the chat, but the brains are still being developed, you know. They're still learning. They still, again, they don't know what everything that's going on out there. They're looking at the internet and trying to figure life out through the internet. So again, and back to the young lady's comment, there's no excuse being made here. Like I said, I am looking through the lens of an adult. I'm not looking at the lens from another young person that's sitting here criticizing this young lady. Again, we just need to kind of like ease up off of a lot of these kids that's making these dumb decisions. And hey, she's not my child. You know, I can only just give my opinion through this, you know, commentary here, this chat or whatever. That's it. That's all I have. I don't know Aysia from a breadcrumb on the street, so I can only give my opinion. That's it.
None of us do, Karma.
And there's no proof that she knew any more than you know, just probably seeing her and, like you mentioned, being in a room with her and not even talking to her.
And that's,
so I mean,
that's also why
what
I'm
she's supposed to
her.
do. She has no responsibility to report anything, especially when you are not sure that anything is going on.
Oh, could I mention something if it's okay? It was another show I was watching, saying that the reason that she didn't go any further about talking about anything at first is because she claims that David showed her proof or something that she was not a minor. Now, I'm just wondering, why is she not mentioning what that was? Like, what did he show her to show, oh, she's not a minor? You know what I mean?
That's the thing she didn't say. More than that, she didn't say exactly what it was. She just said IDs. And
I thought she made a gesture like an ID of some sort.
That I don't know. I'd have to, I only really saw the news when Conditionally made a video. And the way she said it, I think she actually read verbatim what Aysia actually said, where Aysia asked for IDs, right? And
I can tell you what she said.
If you can, that would help.
It was a response to her Reddit rant when she said, somebody asked, did you know Celeste's age? Did anyone or did everyone? Her response was, when I found out her age is when I saw the missing poster. That's a lie, because the age wasn't on there. But maybe she learned in the comment or the chat. Then it said her age wasn't on it when I saw it. I confronted David and harassed him to try and find out the truth and see if he would show me proof of her age, because I didn't believe him at first. He showed me multiple IDs of the girl, and at a certain point, I believed a friend I had thought never lied to me. Also was fed a story.
Here's Khadijah Lynn's video. Let's play it. It's only 8 minutes long. Okay. So in that way we can, give our thoughts about it. And shout out to Eve Loves God. Was it confirmed that it was out of the country? Because isn't there a London in Texas? Yes. I believe it was out of the country. I believe that was confirmed. Flojo, thank you again for the $5. Shout out to you. Okay. Let me hit play on this. Okay.
We are officially back. My voice is back, and we have some more things to get into involving David, because now Aysia has spoke out, and I don't think she did herself any favors by doing this, but we are about to break it down and some other things that I figured out that contradict what she is actually saying. Aysia posted this long statement on Reddit that I'm I'm not going to read her whole statement because honestly, I feel like it's all sorry for me, sorry for me. And yes, Aysia did in fact confirm that this person on Reddit was actually her on her Instagram. And Aysia claimed that she found out Celeste's age when she saw the missing poster, and her age wasn't on it when I saw it. We're about to bring it back to this DM that was leaked, if you guys remember me talking about it, where Aysia was DM'd by somebody and they sent her the missing poster of Celeste. And mind you, this was back in February of 2024, and she said, bro, this is my friend's girlfriend. And this person told Aysia, is there any way you can confirm because she's only 13? And Aysia responded, what the F, you're lying. She claims that she confronted David after this and harassed him to try to figure out the truth and see if he would show her proof of her age because she didn't believe David at first. She said that David showed her multiple IDs of Celeste, and at a certain point, she believed a friend who she thought would never lie to her also was fed a story. Somebody asked her, why didn't you ask Celeste Rivas yourself? Was he keeping her in the cupboard or something? She says, I didn't know her, didn't have any mutual connections with her, did not have her number, did not know if she was actually missing or where she was never in her proximity of her that I knew of. I had only met her once. When she claimed that she only met Celeste once, people were really grilling her about the recent photos that Steve Fisher posted of New Year's Eve in 2024 and how Steve Fisher brought up that Aysia was in fact at this get-together. We'll just say this is one thing that she never answered. I'm sure you guys remember this photo that was going around where you can see Celeste in the bottom right-hand corner right there, and David is performing with his little sister on stage. And I want to be 100% clear that in attendance that night at this performance at the Fonda Theater was Neo, David, Aysia, the other Celeste. Up here, we have David's little sister wearing the same outfit, his mother, his younger brother, his managers. The thing is, we have proof of Celeste not only in that photo from this night, also the video, if you guys remember, of Celeste going backstage with David's younger brother.
That is just 2 minutes and 40 seconds of a video. What do you, I'm going to keep playing it, but like, just kind of think about what you're going to say next because I'm going to keep going. All right.
And in that video, I realized when going back through everything that Celeste was actually holding David's younger sister's hand when she was going backstage. And yes, his younger sister is wearing the same exact outfit when she performed with David this night. Same as the photo booth pictures with everybody in these pictures. Remind you, just in this photo, Celeste is around a lot of David's management team backstage, but there was also photos that were going around. And it appears at certain times, Celeste was sitting in the audience with David's family also. But in the video, there's no denying it because she's literally going backstage with David's younger sister and his younger brother. Watch closely. See? She's holding the hand of David's younger sister in this video. It's from the same night. And that's David's younger brother. Obviously, this is one of the clearest videos and pictures that we actually see of Celeste. Like, this was the best one. So we have Steve Fisher calling her out multiple different times about knowing about Celeste and being around Celeste, her being at the same concert with Celeste, and her admitting that this email that was floating around was actually real and she knew that Celeste was David's girlfriend. So how did you not really know her and you only met her once if you knew that she was David's girlfriend? Mind you, this is the type of things that Aysia was posting in the past when all of this was going on and she didn't speak. She said here that she did not know the girl nor her age. People start calling her out saying that it's crazy that all of a sudden she wants to make a statement just 7 hours after the documents were posted about David being the target in the grand jury and the details of how they found Celeste. And she literally says, I thought many documents have been posted many days, but anyway. And Steve Fisher took to his Twitter and he was literally going off. He was calling out Neo, saying, you knew, I've seen family members publicly defend him and threaten lawsuits against anyone who names him. Sue me. I beg you. Please sue me. Give me subpoena power. Give me the power of discovery because that may be the only way the truth comes out. I beg you, file that defamation suit. How do people like David, Neo, and Aysia live with themselves? To me, this was huge. This is actually hearing Steve Fisher not confirming, but calling Neo out directly, which we have speculated for a long time, is who Steve Fisher is referencing as being the last person that moved David's Tesla. As Steve Fisher claimed that the Tesla was moved for the very last time right before a tour bus would show up, and this person would go with David on tour. And you know,
all right, let me stop right here. And we know that it was actually David who moved the car, correct? All right. Look at we have like 7 or 8 people here. Lord have mercy. I don't even know where to start. Is Karma on? Karma's the one.
Yeah, I'm here. I do have a question. Was there any picture or mentioning from Celeste or David or Aysia with Celeste in the pictures with them all together? That's my first question. And if Celeste mentioned anything about Aysia, it sounds to me they did not have any type of relationship or communication between the two. Because again, Aysia is in the pictures with all the other people, but not Celeste. So it sounds to me like they may not have had any type of friendship or relationship like that, like everybody is thinking they did. You know, just because, like I said before, just because you're sitting in the same room with someone at a get together does not mean that you know that person or you had any type of relationship with that person at all.
We don't actually have any public photos of Celeste and Aysia in the same photo, but there are photos from New Year's Eve 2024, I believe it was, where SF posted them, and that's the one where Celeste was sitting at the table and drinking with Neo and David. But SF did comment and say that Aysia was there. He just didn't post a photo of her.
So, I am in photos in group settings with my friends, and some people are in those photos that I don't even know. I don't even know their names, never said anything to them, and we were in the same place together for special occasions.
But your BFF's like girlfriend?
Mm-hmm.
That, I mean, I understand and I totally see your point, but I think that, you know, they've been in the same company multiple times for them not to have a single conversation, or not, you know, or for Aysia to not have an opportunity to ask, like, hey, is this true?
Wasn't she found to be at, I don't know where I heard it, but heard it multiple times that she had actually been to his house with where his parents live. I don't know. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah, his parents have no excuse for
the Texas house, the Texas location. Is that the house we're talking?
Yes.
Yeah, I heard this too. I heard it too
in the brief that Beth Silverman put out, that that he brought her on trips to meet the parents.
Okay.
They have no excuse. They should have known that was a little girl.
But even separate to that, if we think about if she's been in a room with her and they didn't have a conversation, I think when we're all, if you go to a friend's meal and you can see people, I don't know, at the table that you don't know, we can all tell the difference between child, non-child. Like, so even using that theory that they might not have spoke, I think we can tell the difference between someone very young and someone who's more towards your age. And I don't know, personally, I just don't think Celeste gave somebody who was near to their 20s at all at any point. So I don't think using that as an excuse kind of works in this situation.
Well, as much as people don't like to say that, I actually do have a way to contend. Though, at my last warehouse, a girl I worked with, you have to be 18 to work at our warehouses. So she was 19. And she was about 5 feet tall. Now, people who have ever gone to Sam's Club or Costco, those pallets that you see all around the store, they're not supposed to be higher than 5 feet. So imagine a girl that tall, and she's your coworker. And you have to take extra steps sometimes because I'm driving the forklift around. I got to get out and look for her in between pallets, because if I go to pick something up, I'm going to drive into her. She's probably going to get hurt. Now, 19 years old, working at my warehouse. Put a Pokemon backpack on that girl, and I shit you not, you would think that girl was on her way to school. And
Hello Kitty. Hello Kitty.
That's the thing though. She's really small. Really, really small. But like I said, if she was not working at my warehouse, I would not have believed her at first when she said she was 19 years old. So there are times when that happens. Sometimes people, and let me tell you on the other end of it, someone was a friend of mine. It didn't end on bad terms. Just I went to a different warehouse. I haven't seen her since. She was should be about 32 by now, but about 30 last time I spoke to her, and she was very skinny, bones, kind of like she looked like at best a high school girl, and she had braces. It makes her look even younger, and she was around 30.
Wouldn't they all find that suspicious that she was the only one out of the whole group that always covered her face from the nose down whenever she was in pictures or anything like that, except for that one time when she said what she said about, Epstein. But it's like, other than that, why wouldn't all of them find that suspicious that she was always the one that covered her face?
You're looking at
Or,
young people. No,
but
not necessarily.
we're also assuming that everybody else, David and all of them, were these demure grown adults. No, they were probably just as childish as and young looking as she was.
I
They
don't know. I
probably
feel
were.
like sorry, I feel like it's a little bit problematic though to kind of say that, oh, she just looked young, because the point is, I think if you're saying that it's okay for 20-year-olds not to be able to tell a child, this sort of thing will keep happening, because yes, you can get short adults. I'm not disputing that older people can look younger, but the point is, we all have an inner gut feeling when something's not right, and we can't give her a blight off being 20, however old she is. Like, I was 21 and I was a nurse at that point, responsible for life. I just don't think having my frontal lobe wasn't developed, sorry, and I'm responsible for 16 to 20 patients at one time. It's not excuse enough. I think she's not responsible, obviously legally, but morally something is wrong with the fact that she could have seen Celeste. She was then told she was 13. And at the point of being told she was 13, she would have thought, actually, she does look young, and still did nothing. And what she could have done was taken more action on the missing poster. And that could have protected Celeste.
Well, here's my
Yeah,
question,
like, why
Naomi.
didn't anybody like research it? If they saw there was a missing poster, wouldn't that be a red flag for anybody to like
Well,
look it up?
here's the question for this too, right? Here's we're all adults here, right? I hope nobody's underage here. I don't think so. But
I just turned 17.
oh no, this is why Joe brings us the warehouse drama. Shout out to Joe. So here's the question that I have. I mean, let's be very realistic. Let's be very real about this. I mean, are we going to start, if you have children at that age range, are we going to start carding everybody there? Like, you kind of look like you're younger. Let me see your parents. Like, let's be like, how much of this are we actually taking on in our real life? Because I can't say that we are, right? Are you going to be asking your child's friends or your friends, are you sure you're actually this age? I don't know. Like, let's think about that a little bit.
We tend to give everyone the benefit of the doubt initially. So we don't go carting around asking friends, harassing friends. You are this age. I have a niece that looks exactly like Celeste, and she's 19 years old. She was visiting me a few months ago from Boston, and she wanted to go to the clubs. And I'm like, Roslani, you look like you're 12. And and she had big glasses, and I'm like, if you want to really get into these places, yeah, you may be able to get into them because you're 19, but people are going to look at you like you're a little girl, and that they could try to take advantage of you because of that.
And then you got to understand too, some people carry themselves differently. Like, you got my dog over here choking. Some kids carry themselves, not kids, but people carry themselves differently. You got some grown adults that dress like little young kids. You got little young kids dressed like adults. I mean, and again, if you tell me you're 19 years old, I'm gonna believe that. I'm not gonna sit there and second guess it or question you and give you the, I'm not gonna sit up there and rack my brains on trying to guess somebody's age or whatever. I'm not.
Yeah, but if somebody told you that the person is underage, that's the point. So I'm not saying before that. At the point that someone told you that she was underage is when you would be thinking more about that situation.
Yeah. I mean, yes, I would. That's why Aysia asked the questions and she probed.
No, but she went to the person who was the possible harm. Over here, if that happens, you go and if you can't handle that situation and report it yourself, you go to your parents so that your parents can report it. You don't go and ask the friend, of course not, because they're going to deny it.
Yeah.
But who's to say she had access to Celeste after that?
Exactly.
She didn't need to go to Celeste. She needed to go to authorities or to an adult to help her, somebody older than her.
That's a big stretch because we normally don't do that.
But that's why these things can keep happening in the US if you don't do that. Do you get what I mean? Like, we have to do something different to protect children.
We're not perfect here in the United States. I can tell you that now. We're not perfect at all. So you cannot hold us accountable to that.
I love what Car's like. Listen, we're not perfect. Look, but I think it's a good point though. Like, we're talking over here and we're saying we give somebody the benefit of the doubt. Well, isn't that what Aysia and all these people did with David, they gave him the benefit of the doubt. Like that's the part that I'm trying to like I get both sides. I'm not shaking my finger at Aysia because she didn't know her age or anything. I could take the fact that okay, you were aware and you knew something was up, but you didn't really dig further. I also, the other part to this too is that David was paying Aysia, right? So she was like a paid person. She was a model. She was paid. Why would I want to mess my bag? Does that make sense? So she's got to eat. I'm not excusing that, but that's why
exactly what I was saying.
She wouldn't push the issue. That's why she wouldn't push the issue, is because the girl's got to eat. You know?
I get all of that, but I think like how I look at it, just that's why it happened. But I think how do you stop that again for somebody else? It's making
this happen,
you know, holding her
David
account.
Did it.
No. Yes, it happens because of David, but she could have been protected. And if we only focus on David, there'll be another Celeste and another Celeste and another one, because people are going to take this same attitude and think that we don't all have some kind of duty to protect young people. So we can't just say it's David. Everybody has a responsibility for children.
Well, you know, and Naomi, you make a good point, because here's the other part to this too. We want to say, well, we don't excuse the parents. If Celeste was around his parents, well, why don't we give them the benefit of the doubt too? Because they probably didn't know she was a child. You know what I'm saying? It opens the door for a lot of things here. And all we can do is speculate. You know, we weren't there, right?
Does anybody
But at that
know?
age, the parents should have known better. A parent, you cannot fool a parent as easily as you can fool a kid.
But the thing is, I think she's not a kid. She was over 18. That's the problem. She's not a kid. She's old. And everybody, if she's old enough, I don't know what your laws are in the US, but if she's old enough to drive, all those sort of things, she's old enough to have responsibility to report something. Just she saw a missing poster. All she had to do was call and say, I know where the missing person is, even if not child at that point, because she thought she was older. I know where that missing person is. And that would have been enough. I wouldn't be saying anything about her at that point. I'd be like, she did what she could. Sorry, go on.
But when you turn 18, you just all of a sudden overnight do not go from kid to adult. It's a process. It's a learn. You know, life experiences is what shape who you become and who you who you are in the long run. You just don't turn on a switch and all of a sudden you have all this knowledge of an adult and all these responsibilities and look at things the same. No, you don't. Just because they were kids. This is America. We have a lot of freedoms. We value our freedom. So.
I think but the thing is, I think it looks at like in a perfect world, yes, you don't. But if you're old enough to do certain things, you're old enough to report something. That's kind of bottom line. Like I can't see past that. There's just the level of just say something if you know something to be wrong.
Yeah,
I'm sure she's kicking herself in the behind.
Yeah, but nowadays if you get into these.
I do have a response to that though, and we actually do get too much of that in America. Do you remember the Karen phenomena was founded in America, where people call the cops for next to nothing? But on a more serious note, though, people have always called cops for very little. Americans don't really know their own laws. They don't understand how it works sometimes. And the thing is, cops should not be called in case something happened. Cops should be called because you have a good reason to believe something happened. And if we're going to take that approach where everybody kind of young looking
but she saw there was a missing poster. It doesn't have to be that she was young. I know where the missing person
I don't mean the missing.
is.
I was talking about. I was ignoring the missing poster, but because if people are going to try and get the law involved every time two people are side by side, one of them looks a little too young. Our cops are they're always going to be sidetracked with that. And at some point, they're just not going to take the calls anymore. At some point, they just stop responding to those calls. They'll just say, well, do us a favor. Let us know if something happens. And they're not going to go out.
I would 100% agree if she didn't see the missing poster, but she's told us with her own words she saw the missing poster. So that totally overrides what you've just said, because she knew she was missing at the very least, and that's enough.
I was talking about a hypothetical. I wasn't talking about the poster. I was talking about in a hypothetical way.
Well, as far as I think you mentioned something that's really important too, right? Is the fact that Aysia worked for David. She was a stylist. She was receiving money. She was probably being compensated very well. Right, because I said that semi-live when I was on too, is that she was on payroll, So of course she's going to be complicit or complacent in some sort of way. Maybe she was making really, really, really good money, you know, better money than she would be making streaming. So she just kind of kept her mouth shut. And it could be very well true that she's still lying to us today.
We do it all the time, guys. We keep our mouths shut when we have to because we're getting paid. I mean, whether it's a celebrity or a big corporation, it happens a lot, right?
But didn't the law enforcement go out to David's house to talk to him about Celeste before she got killed?
Yeah, they went out to the.
Okay, so why the responsibility has to be will have to be back on Aysia and everyone else in the clique if law enforcement already involved in this?
I think it's joint responsibility. There's many people in this puzzle that could have done more to protect her. Obviously, law enforcement, of course, they should have done more. But I think just because there's other people who could have had moral responsibility doesn't then make Aysia not have her own responsibility there. And the thing is, we say that she's young and we're going to give her blights, but she's definitely going to learn from this experience based on, you know, I'm not saying she deserves all of like the doxing and stuff that she's had, but being held accountable, she will learn now next time if something's wrong, I'm going to say something because people don't give me grace for not saying something. So to a certain extent, if she didn't know that before, because you guys are saying you just don't know that, I feel like now she would know based on people saying to her she had a responsibility.
100%.
And let me say this. Can we just say, like, for the record, and Joe, you can correct me if I'm wrong about this, but the law doesn't care about whether you're ignorant of it, right? So we can throw in this age factor. She's young, and I'm not. I know that she is, right? But ultimately, she didn't commit a crime that we know of. Okay,
exactly.
She has not. But if she had, and there is this issue of morality, but it's not just on Aysia, guys. It's everybody that was around this circle. Ultimately, right? Like,
but the only difference, though, is that nobody else is speaking except for her.
Thank you.
It's unwarranted attention.
So
I feel that Neo is the most suspicious in my opinion.
Really?
Because that's your homeboy. I think so too. He's more likely to be like, yo, what's up with this girl? She looks so young. You know, I think that he's actually would have known more than she would have.
How old is Neo? Because I thought he was like maybe 18, 19 years
26,
old.
26, right?
See, that's my point, right?
20. He'll be 24, I believe, in September.
He looked like a little young kid. I'm looking at him. He looked like a little young kid to me. So you can't judge somebody just by the way they look. You can't.
But also remember too, Neo is quiet because he's lawyered up.
Yeah, that's true too.
Right. So I mean, he has that on his side protecting him. And I don't know if Aysia was smart. Maybe she should have done the same thing, or unless he's complicit in some sort of crime as well.
Right.
I can what do people think he knows though? Because it's the same thing with Aysia. Is the same thing with Neo. Is people want to point fingers at him until it works, and nothing's worked yet. So what are people throwing at these people?
Well, do you think that he did this by himself, Joe? Like he committed?
He could. He definitely could. Everybody was saying this. This is a good thing for people to do. Type in old woman with chainsaw into YouTube, and one of the first videos I got is a woman using a chainsaw that's almost the size of her body. She's old, white hair, old, and she's cutting down a tree. Okay, she's not 21.
Is she a Karen?
No, she's just cutting. That would be funny as fuck. No, she's just. It looked like she was landscaping. I don't think it was vindictive. I think she was just I think she was just landscaping. But she's using a chainsaw that is. The chainsaw that she was using is bigger than the one that is in evidence right now. So David, yes, could have used the chainsaw by himself. He could have done it by himself. Yes, he could. Okay. What do people think? Like, a sharp object is superior to everything in front of every soft tissue in front of it. Especially when you have that high rate of the speed, the travel that's part of a chainsaw. The blades are going so fast. Everything soft in front of it is inferior. A tree is inferior. So yeah, he could have done that himself. I don't know what happened though. That's the thing. We got to wait for. We're gonna have to probably wait for the trial before we find out that part. The preliminary is only gonna justify the arrest and then say we have enough evidence to go to trial. So the 21st, we're going to hear from the cops for sure.
So let me say this. I do want to give you guys like a couple seconds for final thoughts because I do have to head out. But we might do this again on the 21st, right? Depending on what we hear and stuff like that. Because this is a very good conversation.
This is fun.
Well, it's fun, but one of the things that Naomi, you don't need to apologize because you're just as passionate as I am about children, and I know Karma is. We all are, but we have to be able to have like. This is a younger generation. I can acknowledge that, but it's very we're all there. You know what I mean? Like we all feel very passionate about the same thing, I think, ultimately. Yeah. But Karma, give me your final thoughts about the situation.
I don't really have a final thought. Again, I don't like to put my opinion on a lot of things, but I'll just say, let's not be too hard on Aysia. And to me, I think she is redeemable. I don't know how these young people are gonna, redeem her, but as far as an adult, as I am, she's redeemable. And let's not be too hard on her. She's probably gonna turn out. To me, I think she's gonna turn out. Hopefully, I'm putting this energy out there for her that she's gonna turn out to be a very good, professional individual in life, and she's gonna do well in life. That's what I'm gonna put out there for Aysia.
Thank you, Karma. Flojo, what are your final thoughts about this?
To be honest with you, I can care less how many times Aysia comes out and speaks her mind because honestly, I really don't think that she's involved in any of this. But I think she should stay off of the internet. But the question that I really have, that I want to know, that I'm begging to know, is what did he do with her from April 23rd to May 5th? That's really what I want to know because that will tell us a lot of everything. But other than that, Aysia, just stay off of the internet. Save yourself some grace. Stay off.
I love that. Abraham?
Yes, Father.
It's like Karma and me are the same person. She said everything I wanted to say. No, I think that we should have more grace with Aysia and not be so quick to judge. We don't know how many times she saw Celeste, how much she interacted with Celeste, even if Celeste was, not in another room while these people were socializing in a separate room. Probably it was her that wanted to be away from the crowd. We don't know any of that. So to come down on her so hard, I think it's a little unfair. And I think that David did this by himself, by the way. He did it by himself. If he had help, he wouldn't have gotten caught because he would have been able to dispose of the body much quicker than he tried.
Sure. Okay. Joe, First Liberties?
Personally, I hope Aysia finds Swedish revenge. I hope she learns to live better than the people that are wishing all this ill will on her. Because she didn't, as far as we know, she didn't do anything. And people want to believe it. I don't know why. If she did something, she could have been arrested just as easily as the guy that's in jail right now. Amen. So I'm laying off her, and like I said, I hope long term this works out best for her. And like I said, she learns to live better than the people who are harassing the shit out of her right now.
Mm-hmm. Sure. All right, Journey of Justice. Final thoughts.
I feel that I do want to give her some grace. However, I feel like not just she can learn a lesson, but I think any of these younger folks that are really into the streaming and all that, and if they're aware of somebody missing, they need to do some research and not just let somebody say, oh, that's not really their age, because she could have looked into it. But I'm not wanting to give her, the hardest time. It's new, but I just feel that I really do think it's a good learning lesson for all these younger folks and stuff. But I do want to give her some grace. I do feel bad about some things with her. I just, this is just something that is just a horrible thing that happened with Celeste. But yeah.
Amen.
Definitely. Naomi, tell me your thoughts.
Okay, so final thoughts. I hope that she gets some counseling and that she comes offline and takes care of her mental health. But mostly that the focus remains on Celeste, justice for Celeste. And really, just since I'm up here and there's so many people listening, over 18, you have a responsibility to look after children. If you see something that doesn't seem right, even if you're only 18 yourself, say something and protect children no matter what. That's pretty much my last thoughts. Thank you.
Amen.
I love it. You guys are amazing. If you have a channel, plug it in the chat. You know, do your promo thing because I mean, it's amazing. People should follow you and know where to follow you. You guys, thank you so much. For y'all didn't have to come up. I was a little surprised there. I don't know if people are gonna come up, but we'll see.
This
We
is
need
my
to do
first
this
time
more
coming
often.
up.
I love it, Karba. I love it. I love. Like
You
I
have
said,
to
Asia's
y'all are-
bringing the worst out of everybody.
You guys inspired me. Thank
we're
you.
bringing the Karen out of everyone.
You just have to do more panels, Rabbit. Do more panels.
I do.
Yes.
Listen, I'm down for it as long as people are patient because you know I got baby bunny, I got the sitter, and then the sitter will leave, and then I gotta finagle. But I'm down to do more.
Can you
panels.
go grab her gifts that are at your PO box?
Yes, I'm gonna go to the post office today.
Baby
Thank
Bunny's
you.
gifts are in the PO box.
Thank you, but I appreciate you. All right, thank you guys for joining me. What? You want to go to the post office? See now. Thank you.
See,
All right,
now-
you guys have a great one. Thank
Thanks,
you
Rabbit.
guys. Shout out to everybody, guys. Make sure you guys follow the wonderful people with channels up here in this panel. I will let you guys go. You guys are amazing. Shout out to everybody. Make sure you guys drop some hearts and flowers in the chat for the panels. I mean, again, we're adults here. We're allowed to agree to disagree or not agree. Nobody is I don't think we'll have the answers to everything. I definitely second that. I hope that Aysia gets the therapy and support that she needs because she does need it. And she does need to not seek validation from these online personalities. It'll do her so much good. That's just my thought. And 5 Divine, thank you so much for the 199. Thank you. Thank you so much. You want to say the thank yous for me? Here, girl. Say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, 5 Divine.
Mar.
Yes. Mar, thank you so much for the
Mar,
5.
5.
Okay, can I read it?
Yeah.
Let me read it. All right. We're just going to have to wait this out and see what the evidence presents. I agree. Thank you so much, Mar.
Thank you so much.
Say, have a good one.
Have a good one.
All right, guys, I got to go. Y'all see this child of mine? She's like pulling at me. I got to go. All right. Bye, guys. Have a good one. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Bye, guys.